What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another hot episode of the POPcast right here on your YouTube streets. And as per usual, I'm not rolling by myself. I got my partner in crime. How's it going, Miss Cosmo?
What up, though? That's me indeed. How you doing, Sipo?
I'm amazing.
You're looking so fresh. Let me
tell you something. No one is more excited for summer than me.
It's like you came back with the sun
from
Mauritius.
It found me like this. It found me. Even in winter, I was wearing shorts.
Did you guys?
I was trying to call it.
I think you guys need to go and check out Sipo's vlog from his holiday. He's there, shirts, buttons are open. He's saying, summertime, come and fetch me.
Free the nipple. That's right. It was a good time. And of course, we have an amazing guest joining us once again, DJ Fi. How you living, girl?
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm also excited about summer.
Right?
Yeah. I'm a summer baby all the way.
I don't know people who talk about winter all the time. No, I want winter because of winter swag. Like, what's winter swag?
No, winter swag is a lie. And I don't know which South African actually likes winter swag because Nina Manga. We only have winter for 3 months. Also, it makes no sense.
And the winter drip sucks. But the sweatpants and two-piece sweat, what?
You can only wear so much with winter.
That's what I'm saying. People talk about the drip, winter.
And also, it takes up so much space in your cupboard. I'm not trying to buy stuff that's just going to fill up my space when I could be filling it up with like really cute outfits for the summer. So
R.I.P. to winter.
Yes.
Nah, it's fantastic, man. We're definitely summertime fine over here at the POPcast. Getting straight into some new music, news rather, is the VMAs have announced, much like other award shows like the Grammys who added an Amapiano category. The VMAs have added a Afrobeats category in it, and at the same time, as they announced their nominations, Musa Keys finds himself nominated with Davido for their song Unavailable in the new Afrobeats category. What do you guys think about that?
That's so dope, man. Are they the only people that we recognize in South Africa who's been nominated?
In South Africa, yeah. There's other people in the Afrobeats nomination.
Oh, okay. Obviously, mainly from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think it's a big shout out, especially at a time where African music is taking such a stand through the rest of the world. So it's dope that a lot of these awards are actually starting to look at us and recognize that, we're actually making the world move. So you need to kind of give us a bit of space for us to shine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No. Me personally, I'm happy. Can I swear?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's about fucking time. It's about fucking time because like, I'm one of those people since I came in as a DJ. I've been advocating for Afrobeat because I personally felt like as South Africans, we need to join in the genre. The same way Nigerians and other Africans must join in Amapiano. It's more of an African sound. So the fact that we're getting recognized at award shows is about fucking time. Musa Keys being the one nominated, it's actually a good thing because Musa Keys is like, he reminds me of like Ryan Leslie. He can sing, he can rhyme, he can rap, he can do it all, you know? And like for somebody like that to be nominated and representing our country, it makes fucking sense.
Yes.
And like it being like some other random person or whatever, or somebody who just trended or whatever the case be. No shade, but like it makes a lot of sense for Musa to be the one. So I hope they actually take it because...
Yeah. And it's such a big song as well, especially with the dance challenge, with everything that's kind of making the song grow bigger. There's remixes now, which we're going to touch on a little bit later. So big ups to the guys. I think they really, they hit the mark on the song. So it needs to be recognized.
Absolutely, man. I feel like there's a great resurgence of African music everywhere around the world now. Like actual impact, not that thing where we like hoping that the song is doing well, that's sad because somebody went. Like we can see the global impact. And of course, because of the internet, nobody has to tell you that something is hot anyway. And it's up to the artists themselves are pushing their music, but we're seeing it in real time and it's actually showing some sort of rewards. So stuff like this, them getting nominated in awards, seeing like a Davido performing at the BET Awards, like main stage stuff, not that one where it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon when everyone's still coming in and they put a performance on stage. Like now it looks like there's a little bit more respect being given to African artists.
If you think about it as well, it goes to show how important it is for us as Africans to support our own artists.
Yeah.
Like, don't just support the South African guys. Like, support all the African artists as a whole because now we're doing things that are natural to us. We're dancing to rhythms and beats that are natural. We're not unsing, and it's like, now we're making it cool to a point where like people that have no rhythm, people of different colors of us, they're now trying to do what we're doing. And it's like, it's almost like we're making it cool to be black again, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So shout out.
Absolutely, man. The cultural impact is there and clear for everybody to see. So moving from my piano streets to the hip hop streets, we've been celebrating 50 years of hip hop all of this year, and in a few episodes dating back these last few months, we've been telling you guys what's been happening everywhere around the world, like the show that happened in America, which is actually free for you to watch on YouTube as well. I think if you type in 50 years of hip hop, the entire like 2 or 3 hour show pops up that was live streamed
that's
from
so dope.
America. So yeah, you guys should go check that out if you're interested in finding out how those celebrations went. But of course, bringing it back home, our trusted hip hop entity Back to the City are also joining in the hip hop celebrations and celebrating 50 years of the global hip hop economy, but also 40 years of South African hip hop by creating. I mean, you guys already know the Back to the City lineup is always incredible and packed with all the hottest hip hop artists in the country, if not every single one of them.
Yeah.
You know, gracing the stage. But yeah, I think it's a dope thing that they're doing. And they have, usually they say who the international act is, but I saw on the lineup that they had one secret act. And I don't know if it's an international artist or a local artist. But yeah, good to see Back to the City joining in the hip hop celebrations.
Yes, 100%. I mean, DJ Feifei here is going to be one of the hosts as well, as she was last year.
And the year before that.
And the year
And
before
you
that.
rocked it last year.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are busy stopping me from doing my job to do this.
Yes, and then you ran away from us because you needed to, you know, light something to get you started. So, you know, you still owe us for that. So this is payback for running away from us.
No, I'm always happy to be here,
Yes.
for sure.
But yeah, 50 years of hip hop, 40 years of Back to the City. I think it's got, South African hip hop rather, not of Back to the City. But shout outs to SA Hip Hop for also, you know, kind of growing in the way that it has. And I do think last year when they said surprise act, and then the surprise act was AKA. You know, so we can't necessarily say
Was
that.
AKA the surprise act?
Yes, you
It
were.
wasn't
yeah.
Casper.
No, well, both of them.
It was Casper because I remember they were like nobody was and Casper just beat up. What's his name?
Pretty ugly.
yeah.
Yes, it was on the same day.
Do you know what I mean?
It was
Was
on
the
the
same
same
day?
It was
It
on
was
the same day.
Casper
yes.
was also.
yes.
No, but they were both surprise artists because I know
Oh.
AKA wasn't on the actual lineup.
Yes.
So when people saw him, that's why the crowd went wild and he put on like a full-on performance because like, yo, surprise act for the year, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't think he knew Casper was also gonna come, and Casper came as AKA was finishing.
No,
his
he did
performance. Oh,
because
he?
when we were doing like the behind the scenes brief with AKA, when he was briefing us with the whole team, Casper was parked like right there by the stage, and you could see his freaking car
Yeah.
on ass there.
The
so
Bentley.
He definitely knew that he was there.
Yeah.
They knew they were both there.
Yeah, so they were both surprise artists. So that's why I'm saying surprise guest. We're probably gonna get something special from a South African perspective, which I
Yeah.
think would be dope. I would like to see maybe say the likes of maybe Murafe performing or something old school kind of throwbackish like that. That would be really dope. Because normally with the internationals, I think they are going to mention just to say, yo, we've paid money for this person to come here, so it's not gonna be a
Yeah.
surprise. So if they are still gonna announce the international, it would be really nice to kind of see who that is. You know.
Absolutely.
I
did-
know.
Of course you do, and you're not gonna tell us. Kadi in the
Oh, are
end.
you going to tell us?
No, I can't. Yo, nah.
About to talk yourself out of a job.
They're gonna typix her name off of the flyer.
No, but like you guys actually are gonna enjoy the person. I feel like that person is literally gonna give you guys like proper nostalgia vibes.
Nice.
There is an international act, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Period. I mean that they have to keep up with that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so like Amo is doing a special performance as well. So I think they're bringing some of the legends, local legends, into the fore and letting them do their thing
Yeah.
on special types of performances. But otherwise, Back to the City, as you know, year to
Can
year.
I ask you guys a question? Sorry,
Absolutely.
Muchi, Askies.
Select.
You guys saw the first flyer that dropped, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that dropped this past week.
No,
Yeah.
not the one with the lineup. The one that was just kind of like paying tributes to all
Yeah.
the fallen stars.
Yeah.
I had like a conversation with some DJs, that, like not even DJs, people that were like to me, why is DJ Dimples not on this? You see that reaction right there? That's exactly what I had. Like I literally was like, what? He's not? You know, and I understand maybe it may not be like the right platform to discuss it, but I feel like we should really like put it out there to say, yo, like DJ Dimples is a very,
Yes.
very important part
Absolutely.
of SA hip hop.
Yeah.
And I know last year we did do a huge tribute for him. I just feel like if it was the digital guy's mistake, whoever's mistake it was,
Yeah.
of not ensuring DJ Dimples was on that poster,
Yeah.
they need to literally like rectify that ish.
100%.
And I'm saying this because I didn't even know. I assumed he was there. You know, I didn't go and look at
Yeah.
everybody's face. But like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, do you feel like sometimes the memory of D kind of gets washed away because there's so many other artists after him that like passed or before him? Like,
I think with D, if I can just as part of what I think, first of all, in this situation, I'd like to think that it was some sort of mistake.
Yeah.
That there was some sort of oversight that somebody made, you know what I'm saying, in forgetting somebody, which I guess could happen, you know what I'm saying? I won't be too hard considering whatever the explanation might be, because they definitely need to rectify that.
Yeah.
But one thing about D, in terms of like his personality, as much as he was known and respected in the hip hop community, he himself was never a guy that pushed himself to the front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was never never made anything about himself. He never you can talk about pop bottles the entire day and then bring up D at the end, because he let that thing almost be its own entity.
Yeah.
He never tried to put himself front and center. He always focused on other artists and making them shine and making sure that they were the headliners. And yeah, I guess some people run the entities a little bit different, but Dimples was kind of that type of person who wasn't loud, even on the social streets, whatever. He kind of just moved like a G, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I can imagine people not always bring him up in certain situations, but because I know nobody doesn't know this, DJ Dimples, but I can imagine that sometimes people maybe over time maybe go back and actually show him a little bit more respect. But I feel like him himself and his character was such a chilled, kind of almost in the background guy, you know, for most people. Even when you go to these events, it's not like you see him jumping up on stage and making anything about himself. So I think because of that people generally maybe don't bring him up as much.
But you know what? I hear your point with regards to his personality.
Yeah.
But I don't think that needs to pull away from his impact.
Sure.
Because his impact and his work still spoke for him, and that's why he was DJ Dimples. That's why we paid attention. He might not have been the loudest in the room, but his work
Was
spoke
the
volumes.
loudest,
Of all the he was the first. Well, he wasn't the first, but he was maybe one of the pioneers of DJs who released music, who took it commercially. Let me rather say, from a commercial standpoint, he made DJ music that much more popular. There were DJs who released music prior to him, but it wasn't so much. It was more so for the streets than it was, okay, we're going on TV now, we're doing tours, we're the artists are performing, it's now becoming music videos. That, you know what I mean? He literally took on the music as an artist. And for somebody who made an impact like that as a hip-hop DJ, he opened the floodgates for the rest of us DJs to feel comfortable enough to release music. Number one. Number two, yes, I understand from a platform perspective and making and doing pop bottles, he is still the face of pop bottles, whether we like it or not.
Of course.
Yes, he was in the back and the way he ran it, but he was still the face of it and everybody knew. So I do think it is a misstep and maybe a mistake from whether it was a graphic designer or whoever the case may be.
It's not just them. It's not just them. I'm highlighting it because I feel like somebody came at me and they were like to me, how can you even post this knowing Jorge D's not there, right? So I felt like, you know what, maybe like it needs to be something that people have it in their back of their minds. Like there was another podcast, I don't want to mention it, where they were talking about hip hop and pioneers and people that were like a part of hip hop, and they didn't mention him. And do you understand? And like these are people that are coming with these receipts to say, guys, how is it possible that D was responsible for so many careers? People coming, his album literally incorporated so many of our South African artists. And it's like, we are not even able to just remember this guy to say, oh yeah, by the way, don't forget DJ Dimples. Like, don't you, like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a little more like passionate about it because I knew him towards the end of his life. But like, I feel like having had the introduction to hip hop through a DJ Dimples is something that I can't forget. And it's like, when people forget, it's like, guys, come on. Really?
Now, I hear what both of you are saying, and in that respect, you're right. I'm speaking on one side for him, and of course, he's not here to speak for himself anymore. So saying that he was a quiet and subdued person actually doesn't matter anymore, because everyone whose lives he's touched, I guess it's our responsibility to keep D's name.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think everybody needs to take, first of all, individual responsibility, including us on this platform, and then everybody else in between, from friends to collaborators and the industry at large, to keep his name alive. And to, if there's people out there that don't know, that need to know, then we are the people who need to let them know.
I'm not even dogging out Back to the City. I work for Back to the City. I fuck with them as well. My thing is, like, I can't expect Osmic to see something like this because he's overlooking other things. I can't expect TTP, but then you find they've hired an intern, somebody who's new, who's good with graphics, and that kid doesn't see or didn't feel the impact of DJ Dimples. Hence, they would like overlook a DJ Dimples and maybe put a Costa as a and for me, or not even Costa, but like whoever. And for me, it's just like, yo, guys, no matter who comes into certain places and positions, like Back to the City Festival is a beautiful, beautiful celebration of hip hop.
100%.
And for us to not include somebody like D on the flyer that literally was like a tribute to all our fallen stars, for me, it was just like, yo, man, if that's happening and like I'm even a part of that, I need to set the record straight to say I didn't notice it. And for those people that did notice it, like we are like, yo, we fuck with DJ Dimples, and DJ Dimples deserves to be remembered for the impact that he made on SA hip hop. And I feel like that's what I want to say about that.
Okay.
Nah, definitely. I think you're absolutely right. And like I'll say it once again, that the responsibility lies on every single one of us to keep his name alive in whichever way that we can.
100%.
And to call out every time that we feel like somebody has made a misstep.
Yeah.
And that's definitely out of respect that we have to continue doing that.
And the call out is not disrespectful. It's more so
Absolutely.
let's fix it so that, we can keep the conversation proper.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, staying with our legends, one of them, of course, who's recently released a documentary, actually two, because there's a Kalawa Jasmine documentary that's coming out, and I don't think it's dropped yet. I think it's still coming out, but they've been doing launches about it, and I've been seeing on social media. And of course, there is a Zola 7 documentary that started airing on SABC1 this past weekend as well. I don't know if it was a once-off or if it's like a few-part documentary, but I did see a little bit of it. I just didn't watch the whole thing. SABC1, I don't know if they repeat things or if you catch them on catch-up or how that thing works when you want to miss it.
You actually have SABC?
I mean, I got DSTV.
Full DSTV gives you
I
SABC, girl. What the hell?
You know why?
Oh, you asking me,
Nah.
wait, ask me if I have an aerial outside my house.
Without the DS, basically, she's trying to throw shade.
Let me explain.
This girl doesn't see me.
Explain, please.
Please,
Make it make sense.
Do you know why?
make
There's so many people who and I can say it even myself, there's a lot of people who don't have DSTV decoders anymore because we're in such a digital space now where we stream everything, right? So personally for me, if I didn't live with the people I live with, I wouldn't have a decoder because I stream everything. Yeah. So with the person that Sipo is and his girlfriend, they're very digital people. So I just assumed they don't have.
You must remember one thing, I really like sports. So unfortunately,
Most
DSTV
guys
will
will
have me.
have DSTV for
So that is why. So
Yeah.
I know it came off a little rude, but this is where my thinking was coming from.
Yeah, no.
So you're right.
There's a lot of kids right now who don't bother with decoders because they're like,
Yes,
me, I stream everything, right? As long as I have Wi-Fi, you know what I mean?
But they do put things on catch up, even things from like the local channels, whatever, SABCs and whatnot. So I think that this documentary should, just like you can catch your Shaka Ilembes and whatnot on streaming, because nobody has time to set alarms, which is like something that I actually did. I actually set the alarm to say 4:45.
Yeah.
That's what my alarm
Shout
said.
out to you.
Because I wanted to see it, but it came right in the middle of football. So I watched a part of it and I was like, surely this is going to be on catch up. And I switched back. But from what I saw on social media, the documentary was pretty dope. Of course, if you know anything about Zola, he's kind of storyteller.
Yeah.
So he literally will get into the weeds of his entire life and talk. And he's not shy to talk about his wins and losses over the last few years. But just like we just spoke about D, I think it's important, and now I think we're seeing the value of documenting our own history, so that when times like this come around, or after somebody's career, that people can look back and have these documentaries. I mean, how many documentaries do you know about your favorite American stars and whatnot? There's hundreds of them.
I love
you can't
them
even keep them. Right? They let you know them. So I'm glad that we're getting in the groove of actually documenting and releasing all these things.
100%. I mean, there's also the one by for Mendoza rather, that I think is up. It's on BET, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a biopic.
It's a biopic of Mendoza, and I think it's awesome to kind of tell these stories and for us to kind of get a different view on how certain things are done, because sometimes we don't have this information. Like, for instance, even watching Shaka Ilembe, it's a biopic of Shaka. Like, so if you didn't know the history, if you didn't learn it at school, you only know the European version of what they teach us in school, as opposed to how the Zulus are going to depict the story. It's something like this that's going to teach you. So I'm now learning a different side of the Shaka story because I'm watching Shaka Ilembe. So my watching Mdlwembe, my watching the Nkalagata biopic is going to give me a different perspective of what I knew of these artists. So that's where I think the kind of importance comes in. I do worry about the depiction though, because sometimes it's a little bit biased, or maybe it's not really told. Sometimes there's fictional things that are also kind of added, so we need to kind of be careful.
We can't rely on the
Do you know what I mean?
feel like I can't rely on that.
So for instance, like with Shaka Ilembe, they put out a disclaimer to say, yes, we're telling the story, but there are parts of it which are fictional. Now I'm watching it, I don't know which part is fictional.
Go read the book, girl.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
Go ask your grandparents.
I studied it in history, but I've got a European version of Shaga's story because I learned it back then when I was taught the story story in grade 9. Do you know what I mean? From white people who were teaching me from my from school. So that's why I'm now trying to watch it to understand it from a Zulu perspective, and I'm still trying to figure out, okay, I think the basics of the story is this tribe did this, that tribe did that. The other things that are happening in between, I'm going to take with a pinch of salt, because I don't necessarily think they were spearing each other up the bum, you know what I mean, just to punish people. I don't think that's a reality.
Absolutely.
They do that.
Go and watch, my sister. You'll be cringing half the time.
I don't pay for DSTV, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Unless I'm on the TV.
You see, there's the person I was talking about. There are people who don't have to
and
go.
I have a child, and my child does not watch DSTV. He watches Netflix, Showmax, and Sunny and Melon on YouTube.
There you go. So some things maybe need to be on Showmax. DSTV, please, Shaga Lembe on Showmax so that Faye can watch it.
Yeah, no, they really need to bring it to Showmax so I can watch it, because I haven't watched a single episode. But I'm really like, I'm like keen to watch it, but I'm not that keen to pay 1,000. Never.
I think they might, because one of those things that they have to package somehow. Like it cannot exist over a catch-up period of DSTV and then disappear.
And also
the
on catch up, they remove episodes after a week.
Yeah.
So like you've only got like 3 episodes up on catch up, and then it's like
it's too big of a production for it to just like disappear off. Whether DSTV keeps it there for the longest time, like a year or plus, at some point it has to move to other streaming platforms, which Showmax would be the easiest one because of course DSTV.
But low-key, what you're saying about the whole like not being able to decipher whether it's like the truth or not, right? It goes to show how important it is for us to tell truthful stories about people that we've experienced in the game as well, because Shaga used to be a broer, and he was like a part of this like family, and he did whatever he did, and if those stories were passed down the correct way through the bloodline, through our people, if our people were sharing these stories with their kids, then there would be that one continuous story that is not like altered or changed or molded to make it more entertaining or more like LGBTQIA friendly or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? But I do want to say this, when it comes to like biographies about people's lives and things like that, I feel like it's so important to know when to do it. So with Zola, I love the fact that he's documenting whatever he's documenting. However, I realized that like the impact is so much greater when like the person has passed, and then it's like we're looking back into their life, you know? And I feel like there's a little bit of a shortage of us being able to see our South African stars. Like for instance, Brenda Fassie, there's one documentary of hers on Showmax, I think. Yeah. And then there's like one of but again, Lebo Matosa, but it's not really one because they're acting it out and whatever.
It's biopic vibes.
Do you understand? So I feel like if anything, South African documentary storytellers and these cinematographers need to really look at the content they're giving us. Do you know what I mean? Like Zola, we want to see him do more current stuff, and like we want to be able to engage with him and whatever. I feel like looking at him in the sense of it's a tribute, whatever. It's like, bro, this dude is still alive and well on this earth. So can we celebrate him in a manner that allows us to celebrate him as a person who's alive, as opposed to putting him in the same category as people that have passed away. Do you get what I'm saying? It takes away from his greatness because he's still here. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry.
So just to kind of add on to that before Sipo goes on, I agree with you slightly in the sense that yes, he is being put in a category with people who are dead, so it's a little bit awkward. However, I do think it's important that he is alive to manage the conversation, because what you find is that sometimes biopics or documentaries are then put together in somebody else's view on how they saw that person, and then the person whose life that we're talking about isn't there to correct something that is incorrect. So something, for instance, like Kanye did his biopic, he did his documentary. I think it's important for the artist to still be alive to maybe monitor it, but maybe not release it now.
Yeah.
So speaking to your conversation around timing, maybe they can start collecting the documentary so that he's got an input to say, this is right, this is right, this is right, this is the timing sharp. And then maybe only release it once he's passed away. That is what I agree with. I worry about leaving it in other people's hands because it's their opinion of what actually happened. For instance, the Senzo Meyiwa documentary that came out, it's all the producer's perspective, we still don't have the truth because we're in court now. We're still trying to figure out.
Still
who killed
happening.
him.
Do you understand?
Do you understand? But it's unfortunate because the documentary is around his death, so he can't be here to explain it. But you understand is that it's coming from somebody else's perspective, so we still don't know the truth, and that's what I worry about. So I appreciate the fact that Zola's involved. It's just the timing. Maybe he must just be there to make sure, okay, this is the timing, this is the timing. When I pass away, this is how you release it.
Or even like the context of it, because Janet Jackson has done one, Pamela Anderson has done one, and with them it was more of a thing of like taking us through their childhood leading up to the point that they are like right now. And it's a once-off type of documentary. Same with Kanye. Kanye kind of took us through from the accident, Loki from his childhood as well, the accident, which was a major thing, his mom's, till right now, right? And obviously he's probably going to release another one later when he feels like there's a lot of things that I need to catch you guys up on because he's not really in reality TV. What I feel for Zola is like, bro, like make it but make it in a context of like things that we don't know from your childhood leading up to like now, but from now on it's maybe can it be a reality show instead of like a biopic, because a reality show then gives us like that's reading the room also, because like the young kids want to see Zola like now in his essence. What is he doing now? That's what we want. We want to see you day to day. Like what are you give us a Zola reality show, people will watch that shit. You know what I mean? A biopic, sure, but like it must be like something that's updating us, but not something that's like, oh, now like.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, and my thing about it is this, right? I think there's certain people in the world who had such an impactful time of their life that impacted so much in history. You know what I'm saying? Like when Zola was hot, he was a part of South Africa's fabric of society, from Yizo to everything that happened afterwards. You know what I'm saying? To Zola 7. Like he had an impact that can't be ignored. That was locked into a period of time. And after that, we could say there's been very little impact from Zola that he's been doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's sometimes you could sit there and think, we don't know what his plans are in his life or what he plans to do, anything big or anything legendary that may shake society again. But there's a moment in time where we can definitely go back and look at where we say, this part is the part that's most interesting. And that we'd like to catch on right now. Like I said, I don't know what Zola is planning to do in his life. He wants to do it over and over again. We don't know, right? But right now we can clearly say over the past 10 or 15 years that he hasn't done that. So going back to revive and to remind people who he is, I feel like for him is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Versus, like you just said, Kanye West. It's a great example. Like the Kanye West documentary it could go on, it could be 10 episodes, you know what I'm saying, of exactly that feature, that type of length. But because he continues to be legendary, you know what I'm saying? Like a Beyonce one where do we start, where do we end? She continues to be legendary. So if she ever were to do something, she'd give you a moment in time, like she did with her Netflix, and said, I'm just going to show you what I do for one thing. You know what I'm saying? Because if I have to take out my whole life, where do I start?
And that was 2.5 hours already.
Exactly. And people watch that, we still go back to see it.
Absolutely. So the Zola thing for him is like, I don't know how much impact Zola is going to have in the future. You know what I'm saying? About what he's actually trying to do. Like maybe it may sound rude to say, but maybe he peaked, and that's the chapter to speak about. It's the only interest we have. After that, Zola can go back and live his peaceful life. We don't know what his plans are. Because if I was like, you guys haven't seen nothing yet, I'd be like, okay, let me give them a taste and let them know that I'm giving them a taste, because I'm actually going to do other things. Many other artists you could say, Drake could have one, Jay-Z, whoever, you know what I'm saying? We're like, but I feel like you're not done yet. I feel like there's things that you're going to do still that I'm going to be very interested in knowing the behind the scenes, a documentary about that. So people can have multiple, but not everybody can. Yeah. Some people literally had their moment in time. Even when I look at Kalawa Jasmine, these guys continue to be impactful today, right? You know what I'm saying? But
I think the documentaries or the biopics now that they're talking about are from the past artists who've done big things.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
because I saw them interviewing, even Busiswa was also involved, because she was also signed to them at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a lot for them to cover, especially because the big growth spurt of South African music was early 90s. You know what I'm saying? Moving into the early 2000s was that time where a lot of careers, a lot of legends were made. You know what I'm saying? So that's a period in time where a lot of people can go and speak about. And for Kalawa Jasmine, I mean, they could separate them and say, Skido could have his own thing maybe one day. So I see Zola doing it, but like I said, I don't think everybody gets, some people only get to do it once in their life.
Impact, guys. Now me, I'm all
some
about
people
impact.
are forever, exactly.
What impact is it going to create, and what is it going to drive? Is it going to drive us to want to be more in tune with Zola and what he's doing? Or is it going to be like, oh, that's what he's doing? And then we move on to the next person, because that's legit our attention span nowadays.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Do you know what I mean? But with the Kalawa one, I feel like it's so important to have that. Shout out to them as well, because when we watch hip hop documentaries, we want to hear Mary J. Blige's version. We want to hear freaking Lil Kim talking about how she was fighting with Faith Evans over motherfucking Notorious B.I.G. and we trying to understand how Notorious Nai Jaba Naso. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that in an aspect like that is like those conversations, as long as they're raw and they are true, guys, please give us real information so that kids can watch that and be like, oh damn, some people are still struggling with the same thing that you struggled with 10 years ago, and you releasing that in a conversation about that, bro, you've done a lot.
Yeah,
no, definitely. But as long as people are now documenting their lives, I think there was a time where I used to think nobody's out here, but now you see everybody with cameras every year, everywhere.
Welcome to
Everybody
my YouTube
has
channel.
so even if your life isn't that interesting, who knows? You know, if you never stop recording, you can piece together something that looks remotely watchable.
And I think Kanye also changed people's perception with regards to that, because when people watched his, then they were like, oh, this nigga started recording from
Long
like
time ago,
early
yeah.
days.
Absolutely.
And I think artists are starting to realize the importance of it now, so that they can also say, okay, if I want to be a big star, I need to also start like making sure that the stuff is put
Content
together.
is king.
Yeah.
Content is king. I remember I was watching one episode of the Kardashians with my lady.
Yes, we're not
And
boy.
she was
So wait, did you guys see Jackie Chan doesn't know what the Kardashians are?
Jackie Chan.
They
I'm not
asked
surprised.
him, they were like, do you know, what about, who's your favorite Kardashian? He was like, Kardashian. He's like, is that an English word? Okay, back. The Kardashians.
No, I definitely know who the Kardashians
Go
are. I
watch
can
that
tell
shit,
you.
guys. It's funny.
And I don't blame
He's
him
like,
for not knowing.
Kardashian, what is that?
Jackie Chan has no business knowing who the
Guys,
Kardashians
first of
are.
all, it's Jackie China. I don't know who Jackie Chan is, and everybody watching at home is like, Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie China, that guy, that's his real name.
Doesn't know the Kardashian. Yes, you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, I know who the Kardashians are, but just like what you said about Kanye West, so good. I mean, he was doing it himself, saying, I'm just going to be amazing. I need to record everything. One day, it's going to be to your guys' benefit to see how I did it all. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that my girl had said was just like, look at how these people documented their entire lives. You know what I'm saying? Like how much footage they have of literally everything. And she says that about a lot of, like, we like watching a lot of documentaries, like you can imagine, like the Michael Jordan ones and all the other sports documentaries on streaming platforms. And the one thing that they all have in common is like, this guy had a camera every
Everywhere.
time.
Yeah.
Like watch the Steph Curry one, like everywhere, in his house, when he was 9, when he was 7, when he was growing, like there was a camera. When he was at practice, his parents were there recording every single thing. It's like they have some more footage than they know what to do with. And it's like, that's one thing I guess we could do better of. It's just documenting our lives a lot more. And can you imagine, I mean, I think about my parents and my grandparents. I'm like, there's pictures in the house, but there's like things missing. Even from from when I was a kid. I'm like, where are all my pictures when I was a kid?
Yeah.
There's not enough.
I get mad at my mom all the time. She literally always apologizes because we were living in a very rural part when I was born. Like, I literally have maybe 2-3 pictures of myself as a child. And I'm like, girl, you got pictures of my brother, you got pictures. My sister, Koro, you've got breastfeeding, but now you only have 3 pictures. And she was just like, it's because of the area that they were at. There weren't any cameras and stuff like that. Whereas when my sister was born, when my brother was born, there were people like taking pictures and stuff like that. So I want to say the Kardashians, one thing they've done that made me realize how, as Black people, maybe we need to try this as well, is the whole thing where they have like a Dropbox link or whatever with everybody's names inside, and then you as a child can, they've got TVs that are the size of the freaking wall, right? You as the kid go in the cinema room, you say, oh, I want to see Auntie Coco, and then they click on Auntie Coco, and then they see Auntie Coco from when she was a child. That's what Kris Jenner has done with her kids and like with all that memorabilia. In SA, people's houses, shacks burned down, there's floods, your hard copies are not always the way to go in terms of keeping content. So being digital is a really good thing for us to also adopt as well when it comes to our family memorabilia, because then if anything happens to us, it's like, your children, even kids that are orphans, it's like, if your family did that and you don't know, you've never met your mom, maybe your mom died when she was giving birth to you, at least the family has got a folder that led up to her actually going into labor, and you can kind of associate and say, oh, that's my mom, and just off of that content.
Yeah, one thing I will say about content, I think, is that people need to stop taking content as if you're going to post it. Because then people are always trying to do something perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we're cameras in front of each other's faces as friends when we're relaxing. People are like, stop recording, man. I'm just trying to relax. It's like, yeah, sharp. Everyone can absolutely relax. Not everything that I'm taking is meant to end up on a YouTube channel, end up on an Instagram page. Like the memories can be for friends and family. I think right now we're in that thing where people don't want to take pictures or whatever because they think, oh, you're gonna post this. Is this for Instagram? Like I'm not trying to. I don't feel Instagram ready today. It's like, oh, don't worry about it, my brother.
You should make that a shirt. I'm not posting this to post it. I'm not taking this to post it or whatever.
I'll be going through my phone and I'll be like, oh man, look at all these pictures. And I'll be like, I know I didn't post. I took some of these pictures to post, but I didn't because I either forgot. Now you're inundated with your own content. But I'm like, actually, it's dope because I remember this day and the pictures, those memories mean something. So take videos and pictures of everything wherever you are, but it's fine. You don't have to put it together and make a show out of it to post anywhere. It's literally for you and your friends and family. It's enough. All right, before we get into some music news, of course, just to touch on two things that are happening music-wise, is that I know we spoke about the Unavailable remix featuring Lato, Davido, and Musa Keys, and we'll get into the song right now. But Burna Boy was trending over the past week or so because he put out a song where he samples, is it Birthday Sex?
Okay.
No, he sampled again.
He sampled again.
No, he's the sample king. If there's one thing he took from AKA, if there's one thing he took from AKA was sampling.
It's sampling.
And he cannot even act like he didn't.
Can we talk about sampling, guys? Because I feel like sampling is great, it's beautiful and all, but guys, what happens to originality? What happens to people's ability to be creative? Lately, everybody's fucking sampling. And when Kanye was doing it, it was cool. When AKA was doing it, it was pretty cool. Last was really dope, but sitting on top of it, it's like, bro, okay, so now we have to like, it's nice, but it's just like, we want original Burna Boy. Bro, stop giving 60% to people, dog. Like, just give us, we want, he's a composer, bro. If you are able to compose something from fucking scratch, why the fuck are you wasting your time sampling? Like almost he's recent. I'm not mad. Yo, Burna Boy, shout out to you, bro. I actually know I'm gonna be interviewing him like in a couple of weeks. I love him, but I appreciate original Burna Boy who's able to curate something so organic and original. It's like, yo, this brood made this himself. And like sampling, like guys, yo.
You know what? It's also in the fabric of hip hop. It's in the fabric of hip-hop to sample. That is how hip-hop kind of was made and created. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with sampling. I just think some people have taken it too far. Because when you sample a song, you're also supposed to take a small portion of the song and recreate something brand new. So you're taking it as inspiration. You're not necessarily taking it to say, okay, well, I'm just going to slow it down and I'm going to sing my own lyrics. No, that's not sampling anymore. Now you're just you're reworking the song. You're now
you're remixing it, basically.
You're remixing, yeah, exactly. That's actually what you've done. So I'm on your bandwagon with regards to originality because we do need that. I understand maybe sometimes it's pressure to release music quickly and maybe you have a brain fog and you just don't know what you want to do. I think increase your team. That's the whole point of working with more people, to increase the creativity, to increase other ways of kind of making music, because you can't be the creative machine by yourself. Sometimes you need somebody else to also say, okay, well, try this, try that, whatever. So I think he just needs to expand his network of producers and see how else he can kind of work with different types of sounds to re-energize his creativity. But yeah, man, I'm Burna, love you, boy, but that's sitting on top of the world. It ain't the one, bro.
It's nice. It's just like,
it's just not the one.
Bruh, like,
it's lazy sampling in the way that he does it. You know
lazy.
That's what I'm saying. It must be undeniable when you sample someone's track. You know what I'm saying? Or so much so that you're like, is it the sample? I'm hearing something.
That's
to the point where you're like, this person found inspiration of a drum pattern or something and they stuck with it. But when you hear it, you're like, no, man, I think I know the song.
Kanye is a perfect example
exactly.
of that.
Kanye does it so well that when you hear the original song, you're like, damn.
slow down reverb of the song, you're just like, damn.
Some stuff is reversed.
Even Kendrick does it very well too.
Where like you would never, and it could be a very popular song. You're like, oh shit, it's this jam, and then only later on, like I can't immediately hear Birthday Sex and be like, oh, but it's just him with Burna Boy on top of it. Like Last was undeniable because we'd never seen Burna do that, so it felt like a moment in time. Like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna do something so fun for you, and you're even gonna forget about this track when it plays.
But
you know
even then, Last wasn't lazy sampling.
It wasn't.
I think that was while
he put so much of his own energy into it, where it's like it was undeniable. That's what I'm saying. It has to be undeniable, not like, hey man, all I'm hearing in the background is Last. It sounds like you took a shortcut. No, we were able to say, job well done. With this other one that you just said, sitting on top of the world, and this Birthday Sex that came out this week is just like, oh my brother.
I didn't even hear Birthday Sex. I'm just like, I'm scared because even that other guy, he did it with Nelly's it's getting hot in here. Come on, Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
Bruh. It's like, dog, why did you... He even shot a video. It's like, bro, come on.
And also not in the generation where we can still search for Nelly on Apple Music and Spotify and find Hot
Nelly's
in Here.
still alive. He's
Like-
hot as fuck. He's breathing and walking. this
Nelly's
earth.
at home going,
Why
"This nigga."
why are you recreating his music, dog?
Like, I'm still touring that song today. Like, you need to chill
Same
on my
with
edit.
Brandy. Same with Brandy. It's like, bro, we like sitting on top of the world, the old one. Now we must say, go ahead, it's your bag. It's dope, but like, it's like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you want to sample that way, then you're going to have to find some sort of middle ground of doing it in such a way that, like I said, media has to be undeniable. As soon as having debates like this, it means you took a wrong turn.
Yeah.
Or
We
maybe-
didn't bother having these debates when last came out. We enjoyed, we're like, fantastic. You know what I'm saying? But now, it's like this the exact same artist, 2 songs in, it's like, my brother.
No, or maybe there's a bigger conversation there, Sipo, to say, Hore, maybe our artists are not inspired anymore. That thing we were talking about hunger. When our SA artists were very hungry back then, they were making crazy hits.
Yeah.
We still play them to this day. Do you understand? So it's like, is Burna Boy still hungry? Of course not. He's sitting on top of the world. He's eating. You know what I mean? It's not relatable. We cannot relate to him sitting on top of the world because
But you know what? Sometimes I worry about this conversation about he's not relatable, and I'm just like, you know what? As artists, they start hungry because obviously they start somewhere, and yes, we're relating because hey, you're talking about the struggle that I relate to. At some point, they elevate and they make money and they get to the next level.
Yeah.
I think then that they need to then give us the clear distinction between being hungry and hustling to aspirational. Because
Motivating us now,
motivational,
yes.
be aspirational. Because if you're just going to flex on us, I'm not going to then get to that. But be aspirational to a point where I can still relate to what you're saying, but now you're saying to me, okay, this is the next level of the hustle now. Now you need to reach this level. And then I sit back, I'm like, Burna's doing
Levels.
it.
Nah,
I
it's
want to
levels.
get there.
There's levels.
Do you know what I mean? So don't be lazy about it and be like, fuck you guys, I've got so much money. No, show us how to get there and show us the motivation and the aspiration, because I don't want Burna to stop making music. I just want him to change how he's now communicating that to us. And maybe that's why I'm saying the creativity needs to come from a different space. Also, don't push out music too much, because maybe that's where you're kind of losing the vision. Because I do think artists also need to kind of then sit back and be like, okay, creatively, am I in a good space to release music? Maybe you're not. Maybe you just tour what you have right now, and then you give yourself a couple of months to then re-energize and then go back into studio.
That's
not this
powerful.
thing of being forced to release a song because you've just had a hot one 6 months ago. Do you know what I
It's turned
mean?
into
No,
a money
that's
machine
powerful.
now.
Somebody was saying, I think there was a tweet that was saying maybe the reason why hip hop is not great anymore is because the music is not inspiring and it doesn't make people happy.
Yeah.
Amapiano and all these other dance genres, they make people happy. They put people in a good mood. A lot of our artists right now are talking about how sad and depressed and mental illness, and not everybody wants to listen to that when they are outside having a good time. Creative space. What are you going through right now? Are we able to enjoy your music when you're going through what you're going through, or do you need to go through what you're going through and come back and give us something really big? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't have to always be dropping music. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you turn into a money machine, it becomes a problem. I think Burna is just
It becomes
floating around the whole world, and it's like, I don't want this to stop or slow down. So let's go searching for that other one. And of course, you have other people in your ear now, because like I said, you're a money machine.
Yeah.
So it's not
And
just
the labels
you.
as well.
The labels are there. Everybody's just like, we gotta get another one. We gotta keep this going. The momentum, whatever it is. So there's a lot of people in your ear, and artists will always tell you. It's always clear when something like this happens. 5 years from now, when you talk to Burna, he will tell you about the same thing. He'll be like, yeah, no, I was having a good time, and then there was a lot of things going on, and people were telling me I gotta release, and the labels are there, and this it's not just me anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's too much going on around me that requires me to constantly be the hottest guy in the world and to search for that number one hit all over again. That it's in a creative space, you find yourself that maybe you don't have so much control that you used to have. You know what I'm saying?
What happens, guys, when you get to the top? Like, what happens when you've reached everybody in all 7 continents?
Yeah.
And then you take
The
a break.
aliens-
Take a break.
Take
The
a
moon.
break.
Where are we going?
Take a break.
You gotta take your own. You gotta Kendrick Lamar, Beyonce the
Exactly.
situation. You come, you tour, album,
And that's the first.
zip,
That's the
then you're
first
out.
person I thought of. I was like, Kendrick is a perfect
Rihanna.
person. Rihanna's done too much now. 5 years. Oh, my sister, come back. But I get it. You know, I say take a break, focus on other things. And just because you're taking a break from music doesn't mean you need to take a break from your brand. Doesn't mean you need to take a break from your energy and how you
Your
give back to your
passions,
passions.
yeah.
Get into other things. Get into clothing. Getting into business. get into other things.
Inspire us in
other
other
ways.
ways.
And then you say, okay, I've taken a year break, back to the studio. Rihanna, you are missing with us
Let
now.
me tell you what's been happening about this nigga and him not me making money and me being a billionaire and holding these funds down. 2 babies back to back. Do you know that you're very fertile after you have your first child? Ladies, get on that birth control. That's what we want, Rihanna. We want that.
And that's really what this entire segment was about.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
It's
about
summertime.
Rihanna.
Ninga miti. Sazobam nandi.
guys.
This is not the time to get pregnant.
Not now.
Forget about sampling. Stick to what the last message
Nina,
was.
baby
Nina,
girl.
about December
Baby
and your
girl.
September babies and it's nigga the chance because every month there's a baby shower. Please ngikhathele ukuthenga ama present. Can you just enjoy? Ninga meet. Nibe right.
Don't
Let us do
be-
your weddings.
It's too hot
We
to
will
get pregnant,
Tugisa.
please, guys. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And then, of course, getting into some new music that came out this week, hopefully to heat up the summertime. We have Young Stunner, who's dropping an album soon, I think
Yes.
in September.
Yeah,
and he's-
Busisiwe. Yes.
yes, and he's put out a single called Unkosi.
Nonkosi.
Nonkosi, sorry. Unonkosi.
Ooh.
Ooh, what?
Unonkosi.
There we go, Unonkosi.
Ooh, Sipho.
With
Aren't you
Kabza
guys Zulu?
and deeper feel. Nah,
Damn.
I'm Tswana as
I
hell.
admit that for myself.
No, Sipho's from the northwest.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's-
Hey,
he's
no way. My
northwest.
name, I understand the confusion.
I mean, your name is Sipo.
Ish. Not Tepo,
No.
Tumelo, nah.
And he's not gifting right now.
A gift would have been a better.
Yo,
They should just name me Gift. Anyway, London's also got a new track out with Pori and Yams called Temba. And of course, we just spoke about Davido, Musa Keys, and the Lady Lotto from America, Unavailable, the remix. And the boys, Major League DJs, put out a song with Elaine and Yams called All Night Long. Let's talk about these jams. What are you feeling?
Okay, so if we're gonna run down, what are we gonna do each song?
best to the west.
Okay. Wow, I don't know about all that. Okay, I'm gonna start with the ones that I enjoyed.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the Londi London song. Actually, surprised me a little bit. I know her voice. I think we've all kind of heard her voice like here and there when she was like actively releasing music. But I think it's also kind of a little bit of a fresh take to what she's trying to introduce herself as an artist. So shout outs to her. The Young Stunner song. I mean, it's what we expect from him. So I'm not really shocked. I'm not really up and down about the song.
Is
I was,
it?
I was hoping to get more from it. It sounds a little bit repetitive. So I think he was trying to get back into the Adiwele box where I just needed maybe another verse to kind of give me a little bit more from that specific song. But I am keen to hear the album. I think he's going to give us more in the album. Lotto Girl. I mean, surprising.
Somebody was like, do you think they smashed?
Didn't have to do it though.
Do you think Glado smashed
Davido.
Hey, who knows, man?
Hey man, this hip hop. Anything
two-
is possible.
It's two adults just hanging out.
He's
having a good
married.
time. Who's married?
Davido.
Really? Married.
It's you saying he's married. Like married niggas don't fuck other bitches while they're married.
There's nobody more single in the world than a married man.
Exactly.
Okay, and then
Nigerian married man. I mean, this day is out here.
A
just doing
Yoruba.
it.
You know, have you guys heard about the Yoruba demon?
yeah, it's a very,
Real
it's a
thing.
very
Even
strong.
I've heard
thing.
of the
You've heard about the Yoruba demon? Exactly.
And then all night long, Major League DJs Yams and Elaine. Hey, Elaine, you know I'm enjoying the fact that she's trying new things. I'm wanting. Do you know what it is? I also part and parcel also kind of blame the producers because I think they tried to do the whole like slow R&B thing, but then put that into piano, and then it sounds a little bit like too meshed up. I want to hear Elaine joyful in a piano song, and then I want her to be in an R&B box and be, you know, sad, you know, heartfelt Elaine in that kind of box as well. So maybe I'm just not connecting. I don't think it's a horrible song. I just wanted a little bit more from it.
How about you, Kai?
I'm enjoying it though.
I'm joking. On the Elaine one, I feel like it's a fish in water type situation. Keep a fish in water. We love R&B Elaine, or I love R&B Elaine. I love Summer Walker, 2.0 version Elaine. That melodic harmonizing Elaine, That's the one. That's the one I mess with. And I feel like this whole thing of, I want to be diverse can really fuck up your brand or fuck up your ability to make money through your music. Because it's like, she's so strong at that R&B thing. And it's like, okay, let me try something new. It's like, babe, sure, try something new. But when you're giving us singles and you're giving us visuals and you want us to be the ones that are buying and supporting the music, then give us what we actually fell in love with, which was that R&B Elaine who was chilling with the flowers in her hair and people rubbing her hair. Like, we want that type of Elaine, you know? So, Major League DJs, they doing their thing. Shout out to them. But I personally feel like same situation as well. It's like, we enjoy, I personally enjoy Major League DJs being like those producers that are making what they enjoy as opposed to like what's popular. I feel like right now there's a lot of that going around in the air where everybody's just like, we're trying to make amapiano music just because it's popular. It's like, bro, if you guys are all making piano and now it's like all the hip hop artists are making piano and then all the piano cats are trying to make hip hop, then it's like the genres are not really going to be that strong because now people are testing these things out, but they still not able to make hits even in what they're good at. You know what I mean? So yes, do the piano thing, Elaine, you know, collaborate and whatever, but go in the studio with those initial producers that helped you create Elements, baby girl, and give us an Elements part 2.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah.
We need it. Lundy London. There she goes. I fuck with There She Go, Lundy London, more than this Lundy London. I feel like this Lundy London is trying, it's like, it's not even trying, it's like, it's a piano version of like a Lundy London. Tell your story, speak it, stay the fish in water, what we fuck with. She had that very soulful, Lundy London's got a beautiful voice and she's got a very soulful and like husky voice. And when she was making that house, it was almost like soulful house if you think about it. So it's like if she were to collaborate with a Calvin Momo, guys that are making that kind of a sound as opposed to like other people that are just like, I feel like sometimes artists also are taken in directions of producers as well to say, oh, you should come and jump on this, or because there's a Maporisa on the record, it's like, oh, let me also be on it. It's like, nah, baby girl, like we fuck with the There She Go London, there he go Lundy London, and like he gone, baby, like give us part 2. Do you understand what I mean? Like level it up. He gone, you know, he gone type of shit. Who else? South Africa Fest.
Young Stana, Unonkos.
Personally, I'm not feeling it. I'm not an amapiano like crazy person, but I love commercial piano. I love what makes me move. I feel like maybe I'll need a couple more listens.
Yeah.
But personally, I feel like Young Stana right now, it's like I want to hear Young Stana's music and be like, oh damn, that's Young Stana. Not see him in the socials doing weird, crazy like shit and stuff. And then it's like, you look at the socials and you look at the music and you kind of cringe as well. So it's like, Young Stana.
What are you cringing at?
I'm cringing at like some things that I'm seeing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, so you're saying the social media behavior?
Yeah,
okay.
bruh. Like for me, it's like, you know, sometimes you can be such a really talented artist. Young Stana is very talented. And then you start doing social media antics, thinking that like those things are like what people really want to see. And it's like, bro, like if you want to do that stuff on your own accord, do it. But like, don't make it start to feel like we're watching you do antics. Do you know what I mean? And like, it takes away from the music as well. So I struggle to now take him seriously because of the antics. But I'm not saying he's not a good artist. I'm not feeling the song. Maybe it needs another listen. But yeah, that's that on that. And then last one?
Lotto.
It wasn't necessary.
It really wasn't.
It was not necessary. Musa Keys and Davido killed that fucking song. That's why when people are like, are they smashing? It's like, okay, maybe you're gonna sit there and be like, are they smashing? And like, yeah, you're not trying to be disrespectful, but it's like, bro, this song was perfect. The song is perfect. Sometimes we don't need a remix. Sometimes Feifei's not right. We don't need a part 2 Elaine. But sometimes we might need a part 2 or we might need a remix. And in this case, if you're going to make a remix, please make sure it's better than the first, than the original. Because I'm going to play the original.
And I feel like remixes only work if your song did well but didn't do well enough, and then you elevate it with the remix.
With other people.
If your song was already to the top, then leave it.
Bruh. But you know how they say, don't fix it if it ain't broken?
Yep.
Bruh, they done cracked the damn mirror. And why are you cracking the mirror? Musa Keys fucked it up. Bro, now you're gonna put it's like these piano cats trying to rap. Why are you rapping? Stop it. Go and make amapiano music because that's what we fucking love. Don't come here and try and be like, you out here should be licking, and then now you're trying to like, yo, what's up? Like, It's cute. We know you can do it, baby. But let's shibboleth. That's all I'm saying. So shout out to everybody that's making music. I'm a consumer, guys. I do not make music. I consume. And as a consumer, that's just my opinion. If you don't like it, it's okay. But it's the truth sometimes.
Yeah, I'm surprised by some of these songs in terms of like which ones I thought I would like and which ones I thought might be misses for me. But I'll start with the Lado jumping on the Unavailable remix. Is that she surprisingly didn't sound out of place in that song.
Yes.
Is what I'm gonna play it and it's gonna sound like there's this rap verse that they found laying on the street and they shoved it in there and it's some forced situation. But because I saw the clip online, but I wasn't really paying much attention. I was like, whatever, I'll just listen to this thing when it drops. And actually, she doesn't sound bad on the song. Is it what you're saying about it being necessary? 100% doesn't. I don't think it's necessary. I don't know what territory the song would go and take over where you'd want to be hearing Lado, if it's playing locally anywhere across Africa or anywhere where Afrobeats or Amapiano is popping. If you hear this Lado remix, I don't think it's anything that's going to change. Because if the verse itself is not an impactful verse, then it's just whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
But how much you want to bet Lado's going to come and perform it in Africa?
She's 100% going to perform it, and they have to.
I could she performed at Afro Nation Detroit this past weekend.
There we go, and that's what I'm saying.
That was her in.
She's finding a way in there. They're letting her in clearly, and I don't know. It's probably maybe gonna be more fun for her than anybody else.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know how
gonna be
many
fun
times
for
we'll ever see three of them performing the song together. I don't know. I don't know who this is supposed to help or the track itself. What I'm supposed to do with it. But yeah, but the song is already dope, so they didn't change much except adding a verse into it. And all I'll say is that she doesn't sound out of place. She doesn't sound bad on the track, but again, she doesn't sound incredibly memorable as well.
They could have
and
made
if
a
that's the
brand new
situation,
song.
then what is the point then if it's not memorable?
If they really wanted Lado on a song, they could have made a brand new song.
It's also lazy.
Create a controversial verse where we hear them say, "What do you what Lado saying on that goddamn verse?
Yeah,
she's out of control." Then we're like, it's something to talk about. But now it's just like there's a verse with Lado on there,
a remix,
and it's so short.
You know what I mean?
A remix.
So, it sounds like a blip in the song. Like she was there and then she was gone.
I don't think it's gonna do anything personally.
We love you, Lado. You good girl. Shout out to you for the color inspiration. But
as for Londi, London, Pori, and Yams, I actually don't think the track is bad.
Yeah.
Londi does sound pretty dope on it. Like you said, her voice is kind of nice on there. Yams on production with Pori always gonna do something nice. So the track itself, I think, is actually quite nice sounding. It's this Young Stunner track that actually surprised me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought, especially, I was like, Young Stunner definitely gonna come through. Very, very talented guy, great writer. He's got his lyrics down to a point, and I was like, that's what I was expecting, especially as a first single. But I see that it's kind of exactly what we've been getting from Young Stunner. You know, the song itself is, I'm probably sure we're gonna see some social media antic, something trending on TikTok, a dance challenge, something that's gonna make the song get stuck in our minds, and then suddenly it's gonna be at every single party. I don't think it's bad, but I'm very surprised that it's not I don't know. I don't think it's a big hit personally.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
sometimes you can hear a hit.
Yeah, sometimes you can hear a hit. I'm just like, I know I'm gonna hear this track everywhere, but it's not immediately a hit, and it's not something that I actually want to hear a lot, especially because that repetitive thing over and over again. I don't know.
And it's not as beautiful as he did it on Adiwele.
Yeah, of course. There's no great.
But
there's no hang.
To be fair, most piano songs are repetitive. Let's not get that twisted. A lot of them are repetitive.
Sure.
When there's a chant, when there's something that people can sing along, a lot of piano songs are repetitive. However, I think we've now put Young Stunner on a different pedestal where we expect more creativity and more from him from a song. And I think that's why we're all underwhelmed. It's not just, the song is not horrible. We just, because it's now the second album and it's the lead up, it's supposed to be the song that gets you excited for the album to say, oh my God, I want to hear the rest of Busisiwe because it's a smash. And now we're all just like, but my brother, we wanted to ride this wave with you to get to the next level, to the next step of where your career is going. And that's not what the song gave us. And I think that's where where we're all feeling. We're not saying it's bad. We're just saying elevate us so that we can also then be excited. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's average, but I get it's beyond. People want to dance, so people are gonna dance regardless. And I guess that's just what the hell that is.
But we must also talk about how nowadays piano is becoming lazy in a sense.
Absolutely.
That like the
don't complain when they screenshot you here on Instagram.
Nah, but like it's the truth, because I always talk about how my first time seeing a piano act was when DJ Somebody used to have those all white parties and he was on stage and legit there was a guy I saw a piano here. Bro, like, do you understand the amount of instrumentals and everything? Nowadays, it's just like, as long as it's got that...
Yeah, the
Of
log
course,
drum.
the
It's
log
the
drum.
log drum or whatever, it's a piano song. Nowadays, we're having R&B piano songs as well. And it's just like we're remaking, like, you know, no fun in a piano fucking backup.
Everything now is like, just make sure it's a piano beat and then we can do anything we want on it. And
Just not
we'll
make it
figure
lazy,
it out
guys.
later.
We still
Which
have to
is
make
what I think of
quality.
the last track, All Night Long. Major League DJs, Elaine and Yams. Shout out to everybody on the track who individually I like. But together on this track, for me, I think, without even saying too much, I think it's a swing and a miss. Because I don't know whose song this is supposed to help. You know what I'm saying? Is it supposed to
I think
a song for Elaine to perform?
I think they were trying to accommodate Elaine because they thought that's what she
Absolutely.
wanted, but it's not working for anybody because if Elaine's gonna be on a piano song, she must sound different. She must sound happy. She must sound in the vibe of piano. And then when she's R&B Elaine, she can be R&B Elaine.
You know what's crazy about the song? Major league DJs are they've produced some of the hottest R&B songs. Cly, My Love, that's all I can measure. If they had done that shit with Elaine, we probably would have had a hit.
Exactly.
Straight up. Because Fish and Water. They know how to make the fucking R&B beat.
So
she knows how to sing the R&B.
The story of today is if you're a fish,
Stay in the
Your
water.
Otherwise, you might end up being sushi or something. I don't know.
otherwise you're gonna be lunch.
Snook fish. Come
Anyway,
on.
man, I guess we could go on forever, but we have come to the end of our show this week. Shout out to our amazing guest, Faye Faye.
Yeah.
Always with the...
Guys, this can roast, ne? I love music.
Skabataba.
You guys
Skabataba,
must-
Skabataba.
You guys must meet
No,
her.
I care about time. I care about food.
They must yep all they want. Everyone must have an opinion. We had ours, so go ahead and have yours in the
Yeah.
comment section across
Yeah.
all social media platforms. Share the content, like, comment, subscribe, shout if you want to shout. I don't read anyone's notes on thingy as shouting at me.
Yeah.
I read them in the calmest voice possible. So even if on talk I'm mad, I'm just gonna be like, and then your mother said,
Oh wow.
like, oh, that's so nice of you to say, my brother.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean-
All right.
Miss Cosmo.
Yes, please like, subscribe, comment, shout us out, and let us know exactly what you love about the show. And if you, if you want to hear or speak about certain things, also just let us know in the comment section. If you want to roast Faye, please go ahead and do so. Make her trend, do the right thing. She's waiting for it. That's why she came to the show. She wants to make sure that this thing takes it to the top. I'm joking. I'm kidding. You can also catch us, by the way. You can catch some of our platforms, some of our features on Sebenza website. So if you are somebody who actually, you go on public transport and you connect to some of the free Wi-Fi on Sebenza on the website, you can catch some of our features on there as well.
Yes,
we will
sir.
be on the Sebenza website. So it's going to be dope, especially if you're in the taxi, you're riding to somewhere, you can catch up on some of your favorite POPcast segments as well. So yeah, man, catch us next week. Same time, same place, right here on the YouTube streets. Myself, Miss Cosmo, Moochie for one baby, DJ Faye Faye, pew, pew, pew,
Pew, pew, pew.
meow.
We nice.